The son of an LA County fire captain charged with kidnapping, murdering, and attempting to 19-year-old Andrea Vazquez has pled not guilty. The scumbag's name, Gabriel Sean Esparza, 20 years of age, whose father has not yet been identified, made his first court appearance when he was arraigned on Wednesday at Los Angeles Superior Court. Prosecutors formally filed 7 charges against the suspect, including 1 count of murder, 1 count of kidnapping to commit and 2 counts of attempted forcible R. The alleged scumbag Gabriel Sean Esparza pled not guilty during the charges despite authorities claiming that he had confessed to the killing. The scumbag is being held without bail. That's the right move. He's expected back in court late October. So at this point, I'm going to say full condolences to the family and friends of the victim, Andrea Vazquez, murdered, a complete innocent, her life taken away, the prime suspect being a 20-year-old son of a fire captain. I don't know why we're being told the father's occupation. That doesn't really seem relevant to me, to be honest. I don't think the father needs to be blamed in any way for the despicable actions of his adult son. So full condolences to the family and friends of the victim, Andrea Vazquez. I'm going to go through some of the details in regards to the attack, so I'll provide a bit of a trigger warning. Andrea Vazquez's body was found in a vegetation field off Alessandro Boulevard and Merwin Street in Moreno Valley, California, Tuesday morning at around 11:50 a.m. Police said that a weapon believed to have been used in the crime was recovered, as well as the suspected scumbag's vehicle, which was a 2013 Toyota Tacoma truck. It appears that Andrea and her boyfriend were randomly targeted by the suspect at Penn Park. The victims don't have any known connection with the suspected murderer at all. We're told that the shooting happened in the parking area of Penn Park shortly after midnight on Sunday. I'm going to read through a quotation or a statement from an adult male witness, which I'm believing to be Andrea's boyfriend. So I may have that wrong, but we're told that an adult male witness reported that whilst at the park with an adult female companion, presumably Andrea Vazquez, an armed suspect approached their vehicle and fired a weapon in their direction. That same witness, again I presume the boyfriend, told police that he ran from the car, and when he came back to the car, he found blood and he found Andrea missing. So if I'm understanding this correctly, the boyfriend has stated that he was in the car with Andrea. The suspect came up to the vehicle, the window of the vehicle, shot towards the vehicle. The boyfriend ran out of the car. I'm not sure if he attempted to chase the shooter. I guess not. I guess the boyfriend tried to save his own life, to get out of the car so he's not being continued to be shot at. So I guess that's what happened. The boyfriend fled. At some point, the boyfriend came back to the car. There was blood and Andrea was gone. His girlfriend was gone. Can you blame the boyfriend? If that is the case, if what I've said is accurate, and maybe it isn't, can you blame the boyfriend? If the boyfriend was being shot at and he fled the scene, is he to blame? Would you call him a coward for that? For leaving his girlfriend alone, Andrea alone? I'll comment. I don't really want to comment on that, but I could see why people would consider him a coward. But, you know, we're human. We don't want to be shot at. We don't want to be killed. We've got to protect ourselves. We have natural instincts. Being cowardly is a normal part of life. We're humans. We're not all supermen. We're not superheroes. I can tell you, if I'm being shot at, I'm going to try to save my own life, you know? I'm not going to claim that I'm always going to act in a heroic fashion. Who knows? When you're put in that situation, and that was an awful situation for the boyfriend to be put in, literally being shot at, so he fled the scene. It seems natural. Could he have helped if he had stayed there? Probably not. Unless he's armed, how is he going to defend himself, his girlfriend, against a stranger that's just come up starting shooting at the vehicle? What's he going to do? If the boyfriend didn't have a weapon himself, what's he going to do? Tackle an insane gunman, unarmed, certain death. So I think there is an argument to say that, if I understand things correctly, the boyfriend acted cowardly, but even if that is the case, it's a perfectly natural human response. That's my take on it. But either way, the boyfriend returned to the car, at which point he found blood and he found that Andrea was missing. He'd been taken by the suspect. Again, the suspect, 20 years of age, his name Gabriel Sean Esparza, and he's been charged with kidnapping, murder, and attempting to 19-year-old Andrea Vazquez. He claims he's not guilty. He's pled not guilty. It wasn't him. It was somebody else. Hopefully there's enough evidence to convict the guilty party. I would assume that the police know what they're doing. The article says that despite Gabriel Sean Esparza pleading not guilty, the article tells us that it is believed that he has confessed to the killing. So hopefully there is a strong case against the guilty party, and if that is the case, this guy needs to be locked up for the rest of his life. Of course, full condolences to the family and friends of the victim, Andrea Vazquez. Her body found in a vegetation field off Alessandro Boulevard and Merwin Street in Moreno Valley, California, 11:50 a.m. Tuesday. The scumbag murderer shot at her when she was in a car with her boyfriend, as far as we understand. The boyfriend fled. He came back. He discovered blood and Andrea missing. Seemingly, the scumbag took Andrea, tried to her forcibly. My assumption is that that didn't actually happen. I'm going to say this, hopefully it's not too clumsy for whatever that's worth. But Andrea was killed. We're not told the absolute nature of her death. I presume she was shot, but perhaps not. Perhaps she was strangled. We really don't know. This article has not given us that information. Perhaps that information is out there. Perhaps that information will be released in due course. But either way, the life of an innocent 19-year-old has been taken away by a sick, sadistic, murderous pervert who has no self-control, no empathy for other humans. Took it upon himself to shoot at a couple whilst they're in a car, to abduct, kidnap a young woman, to try to force himself upon her. Presumably she resisted, presumably she fought back. So this scumbag, incapable of any kind of self-control, killed Andrea Vazquez. Again, we're told that there's no known connection between the scumbag suspect and the victims, Andrea and her boyfriend. No known connection. However, I'm going to say that they are of a similar age. Andrea 19, the suspect 20. And I'm going to say that they both have a Latin background. Am I allowed to point that out? Andrea Vazquez, I believe that would be a Latin name, South American heritage. And the same with Gabriel Esparza, both of South American heritage. I don't know. I mean, we're told that there's no known connection, but perhaps there is a connection which hasn't been identified or perhaps hasn't been released at this point. So I'm going to wrap things up at this point. Again, full condolences to all of the family and friends of Andrea Vazquez. They're going to have a lot of darkness with them. Let's hope they're able to overcome that at some point. Thoughts and prayers for Andrea's boyfriend, put in a dreadful situation, shot at. He fled the scene. Perhaps he's suffering survivor's guilt. Perhaps he's being looked down upon for not attempting to defend himself, not attempting to defend Andrea. Perhaps he's being attacked by his friends and family, members of the community, for arguably abandoning Andrea, leaving her to be subjected to the will of this murderous pervert. Could the boyfriend have done more? Should the boyfriend have done more? We don't know. If he had done anything, he would have likely been shot and killed, would be my guess. So the boyfriend did not ask to be put in that position. The boyfriend did not expect to be in that position. The boyfriend likely had no effective means to defend himself against an armed gunman. This wasn't a fair fight. With that, I personally would give the boyfriend a pass. I don't think it's fair to call him a coward or certainly punish him in this way or that way for just acting like a human, just defending himself in the best possible way. And in this case, the best possible way was likely fleeing the scene. So yes, that left his girlfriend, Andrea Vazquez, in an awful position on her own at the mercy of a murderous pervert, but that's not something that the boyfriend instigated, or he was merely reacting to the situation. So there's my take on it. Perhaps you disagree. If you do, feel free to say so in the comment section. I just feel that the boyfriend was put in an absolutely dreadful position, and I fear that he may be continuing to suffer. So I hope that isn't the case. I'm going to wrap things up at this point. If you do appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. Again, feel free to drop notes in the comments. If you agree with me, disagree with me, if I've missed something or if I've made a mistake, just let me know. Thank you for listening and take care.